Welcome to this edition of Marklin TV Extra, in which we would like to present some particularly enchanting models in 1:32 scale. In other words, in the King's class. Fascinating showpieces from the world of sophisticated travel are on display here, just as they once were in the original. The Edelweiss was a train
der von der CIWL, der sogenannten Compagnie de Internationale de Wagonlit,
which was brought into being by the CIWL, the Compagnie Internationale de Wagonlit. It was a noble Pullman Express that ran on the route from Amsterdam to Basel, and it was pulled by what was once the largest French express train locomotive in existence at the time, the 13th series or 241A. Which was built from 1926 by the De Fives locomotive factory in Lille, originally for the French Eastern Railway, or EST. And this locomotive is a four-cylinder compound locomotive and something very special. Many know it as the museum locomotive 241A65, as we had it in our range a few years ago. Now it has been given all the modifications and shape to match the period of the delivery condition. The locomotive was delivered in 1931 and goes very nicely with the Edelweiss train, which is set in 1937. The locomotive is operated from the left side, as was usual in France at the time. The stoker is on the right side.
Der Heizer ist auf der rechten Seite.
The locomotive is celebrated for its beautiful aesthetic design, a milestone in international railway history. Then, as was usual at the time, the locomotive has dual headlights on both sides and no triple headlights. However, you can also see the mounting for the third headlight here. There are no electric lamps either, which is also indicated by the missing generator. It has kerosene lamps instead. The small smoke deflectors also catch the eye. These were typical for the EST, the former Eastern Railway Company. A first operational model of this impressive locomotive took its first steps on the layout built by Michael Amazin. The supplies for the model are added in the locomotive depot there. First of all, work is carried out on the hatches that can be opened on the sun dome. Then it's off to draw water. It is a real treat to look at the fine wheels of the French lady. Such an excellent model is most certainly a veritable investment, apart from the enjoyment that playing with the 1:1 gauge locomotive brings. Numerous details have been implemented, including a particularly special one.
Französische Loks haben ja gemäß der damaligen Manier ein Tacho.
French locomotives had a speedometer, in keeping with the fashion of the time. It was a large chrome or gold-plated square device. A rod ran from the speedometer out of the cab and was attached to the rearmost axle. This drive would, of course, turn while the train was moving, indicating the speed. And on our model, it also turns.
Das ist klar, die Geschwindigkeit anzuzeigen. Und das dreht sich bei unserem Modell auch mit.
And once the locomotive had started moving, the speedometer would tick along with every kilometer. The smokebox door can also be opened. To do this, you have to carefully move the 4 sash locks. The 241A65, which has become native to Switzerland, is a model that never fails to inspire as a fully operational museum locomotive. While this special train is made up of normal cars and primarily offers a magnificent steam-powered experience, The Edelweiss creates a special atmosphere. The train is set in a time when traveling had not yet degenerated into a mere journey from A to B. So it wasn't just that I wanted to get from A to B and that was it, like a service. Rather, the journey was the destination. You can feel that on this train. It's all very dignified, with a dress code too. You couldn't come casually. Your clothes had to be worthy of the occasion. Yes, that is the railroad experience at its best. You get to know the landscape and enjoy culinary delights. And it's all beautifully realized in 1:32 scale. Really highly detailed, with everything under the sun right here. After all supplies have been replenished, the 241 is allowed to roll to its train. A set of 6 cars will be added to the program, newly developed from the ground up, in absolutely correct scale and with the finest design. These cars leave nothing to be desired, with raised emblems on the long sides. A decoder is built into each of the 4 Pullman cars. Current buffers ensure that the interior lighting is absolutely flicker-free. With appropriately designed, lockable, flexible, extended diaphragms, a cohesive train formation can be represented, which of course looks particularly good when presented in a display case. Spring buffers are as much a matter of course as opening doors. And new ground was broken too.
Marklin
has long been committed to building models out of zinc die-cast due to its robustness and such. But these cars are now made of brass. The car body is made of brass and the chassis are made of aluminum or zinc die-cast. And they are really finely crafted.
Auch fein gearbeitet.
Ladies and gentlemen, off we go!
Dieser Zug, ja, besteht aus 6 Wagen, 2 Gepäckwagen, die gleich sind, Typ DD3.
This train consists of 6 cars, 2 baggage cars, which are the same type DD3, one of which has a marker light. The train also consists of 4 elegant Pullman cars. They are also called couplages. The 2 Étoile du Nord cars, a Pullman car and a Pullman car with a kitchen, form a couplage. And the second couplage is the Côte d'Azur, also with a Pullman car and a Pullman car with kitchen, which then completes the train. The appearance is always the same. A working locomotive, a baggage car behind it, then a couplage, the second couplage and the second baggage car with a marker light. That's how it was operated in the end. Yes, it's quite enchanting indeed.
Maschine darum, dass die den Zug richtig schön befördern kann und der Vierling vorwärts stürmt. Ja, es ist wirklich ganz, ganz bezaubernd.